Hey guys, welcome to While the Stencil Dries. I'm Chris Jensen. This is a podcast about the tattoo industry and all the ins and outs. Today on the show, we've got Nath Holden. Let's jump straight into it. And do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hey, yeah, my name's Nathan. I'm a neo-traditional artist and I tattoo out of Melbourne. Travel around a little bit and been tattooing for about 12 years.
Cool. So you're pretty much a veteran now, 12 years.
Yeah, I know, it seems like that.
Did you get a gold tooth for the 10-year tattooing, or is that just a
Oh,
gold
no,
tooth?
I've had them for a while.
Yeah.
Just the caps from Cheshire Grin. So,
Oh yeah. Have you
yeah.
heard that at 10 years you get one gold tooth, at 20 years you get another?
Oh, no, I haven't heard
No.
that one.
Yeah, apparently it's a thing. Do you want to tell us about the start and how you actually got into tattooing, like getting your apprenticeship and all that sort of thing?
But I had a little bit of a accidental crisis, I guess, when I was in my early 20s. And I moved back to my dad's for a little bit and didn't know what to do. And I did a lot of drawing through school and stuff. So I sort of wanted to pick it back up. And I started seeing shows like Miami Ink and LA Ink and stuff come on TV. I was like, oh, this is really, you can make a career out of this. So I just started drawing a lot again while I wasn't really working. So I had a lot of spare time on my hands, and I sort of just picked up my drawing style that I was working on in year 12 art. And I think I was about 24 at this stage and hadn't really drawn for about 6 years. And then, just started drawing again and I built up a small little illustration business with the end goal to get into tattooing.
Yeah.
But it took a little bit longer than I thought because life got in the way and distractions and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I just worked on drawing for, quite a while. And then I happened just to walk into a tattoo studio near where I used to work just to buy a beanie.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting in the window, and then started talking to the owner and told them that I do a little bit of drawing and stuff. And he's like, oh, do you want to be a tattooist? And I was like, yeah, that's kind of like the end goal. And he's like, have you thought about starting an apprenticeship? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And then he basically said, come in a few days when I've got some free time and we'll have a look at your folio.
Yeah.
So I like full panicked, ran home and had to chuck together a folio overnight basically.
Yeah.
But I just put all my drawings together that I'd been doing over the last few years. So it's a lot of illustration stuff, sort of like comic art type illustration. I did a lot of portraiture for people as gifts.
Yeah.
It was a little side hustle with my day job at the time. And then some tattoo related stuff, took that in, showed him. And then he's like, yeah, do you want an apprenticeship?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah, sure.
Sounds like you got it pretty easy compared to a lot of stories.
Yeah, I know. I kind of just fell in my lap.
Just the right place at the right time.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Obviously, I had that's what I wanted to do in my head,
Yeah.
and like all my energy and my drive was towards that. Especially at that point in my life, I basically threw myself into that illustration business on the side of my day job. So I guess like putting more time and effort into it, put that out there, I guess, and then
Yeah. So when you started, did you quit everything and jump straight into tattooing, or did you have like your side job as well?
Yeah. So the initial idea was to learn, because that studio was literally around the corner from where I used to work. I was going to learn and then keep my day job.
Yep.
And because I was working afternoon shift, I think at the time, I wasn't starting till like 2:00. So that was the idea. And then once I'd gotten into it, I didn't really want to be at my day job.
Yeah. It's too exciting.
And it's too exciting, yeah. And you're like, yeah, I just want time to create now. And it just, again, coincidentally, I had a forklift driving accident at work. It was just a minor little bump on a door, but I think that was my third warning or something. And then they like let me go and fired me. But even when they were firing me, the guy was like, dude, you're starting to tattoo. He's like, I know you don't want to be here. He's just like, just use it as a gateway. And so I was like, I'm not going to bother getting another job. I'm just going to jump, put all my time and energy and effort into it for a little bit, because obviously you don't make any money when you start. And then, yeah, a lot of other things sort of fell into place around that time. The guy that owned the studio, Chook, he was living behind the studio. And then he just recently bought a house. So they were like, oh, I have this space behind the studio. Do you want to live here? And I was like, absolutely. Because it was going to save me a lot of travel time. I was traveling like 40 minutes or something. I'm always very grateful for that opportunity that gave me
Yeah.
back when I first started. So big shout out to Chook. He's still tattooing. So I think he's got a little studio at Gisborne now. So
Yeah. It's a big struggle when you start out money wise, trying to sort it out if you don't have a side job.
absolutely.
How long was it before you actually started tattooing?
So I think I officially started the apprenticeship in October, and then the job loss thing. God, this is going to test my memory. I think it might have happened in December. So I'd already been hanging around in the studio for a few months. Obviously doing a lot of drawing and just observing and cleaning and, the usual sort of apprentice type stuff. And then I did some practice tattoos on pigskin.
Yeah.
Not fake skin.
Yeah, I used to use pigskin.
Yeah. I don't know if fake skin was around much. I think it was around back then, but it was like, I don't know. Maybe it was just easy to go to the butcher and get some pigskin.
Yeah, that's what I used to do.
And it's what everyone used to do. So my boss was like, here you go, have some pigskin. So
yeah,
I did a few little practice tattoos on that, basically with like how he set himself up. And then, just learned from there. And then I did my first tattoo, I think was on my brother.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So it was your first official customer?
Yeah.
Yeah, what'd you do?
Oh, it's like this little Met logo.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should say this, but my brother's a painter. So he wanted like a little Met train logo from back in the day.
Yeah.
It was a pretty funny little tattoo, and it's just, it's still on him today, and it's just down on his ankle, so you can still see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my official first tattoo on skin. So it went all right. Still in there.
Yeah.
Still solid.
Hasn't been covered up.
Fine. Hasn't been covered up yet.
Yeah.
One day.
So did you have, obviously neo-traditional was your style, was that your goal from the start, or did you sort of fall into it?
Yeah, good question. I didn't even know what it was when I started, because I had that particular drawing style. Like I was saying before, I did a lot of illustration stuff. It was sort of comic book based and portraits and things like that. And then obviously when Chook had seen the drawings, he was like, oh, you're really neo-traditional. And I was like, I didn't even know what that was. So I feel like I've just kind of kept drawing the way I've always drawn.
Yeah.
And then obviously over time, as I've been influenced and seen other neo-traditional artists and what they do, it's evolved.
Yeah, it's a natural evolution.
As it always does, yeah.
Yeah.
So I never set out to be like, I want to be a neo-trad artist.
Yeah.
That was what my natural drawing style was closest to, and I just ran with that.
So who was like your influences back then?
Here in Australia, probably the biggest one was Sam Clark.
Yep.
100%. And I've been lucky enough to spend quite a bit of time with Sam last year. So, I don't know, he's been tattooing for like over 20 years or something ridiculous. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think neo-traditional was...
He's like one of the original Australian neo-traditional artists. He'd have to be.
Yeah. It was pretty big back then as well, I think.
Yeah.
Or it was...
Him and Emily.
Yeah.
It'd have to be. Emily Rose.
They were the two biggest names for sure.
For sure. Yeah. So I looked up to his work quite a bit. But then, there was other guys around at that time. Like, God, I remember even before I started tattooing, like seeing Mick Squires on magazines and Ben Lucas and stuff. And, I've been lucky enough to work with those guys now. So, I always looked at those magazines and being like, oh, I want to be like that one day. And so, and then, Emily obviously would have influenced me way back when I first started. She actually tattooed me when I was wanting to get into tattooing way back in the day. So they're the two. Sam's the biggest one. Yeah.
So what keeps you, I guess if you've been tattooing for 12 years, you've been doing like predominantly one style. What keeps you motivated over such a long time? And do you see yourself sort of looking into other styles, or you're just sort of in love with where you're headed and want to stick to that?
Another good question. Yeah, I've kind of like shoehorned myself into it, haven't I? I'm a one-trick pony. I've like obviously tried other things. I had a little crack at realism back in the day. I've kind of gone to the more trad scale sometimes and played around with that a little bit. Definitely had a look at, working a little bit more towards the realism scale. Especially with like animals and things like that, and then portraiture, and then on the flip side, I've got played around with trad imagery and stuff, but then I always end up just putting my own little spin on it. Yeah, stylistically, I've really sort of just stayed in my lane.
Yeah. Well, I guess with neo-traditional, you sort of do have a little bit of wiggle room to experiment a little bit. Like you can sort of be on a more realistic end of it or traditional style.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that's the beauty of neo-traditional. It sort of reflects the artist's natural art style and the way they draw.
Yeah.
Look at Tim Taveri's work; it's very illustrated and flowy, and lots of florals and animals and birds and stuff like that. But then on the other side, I guess like Matt Curzon's, more super bold, heavily saturated, large imagery on the more traditional side of things. So I try and put myself somewhere in the middle where I can stay a little bit more illustrated as well. And then, obviously still tap into that comic book illustration background and influence.
Yeah.
From when I started.
And then I guess you've been tattooing for long enough now that you've got that established sort of niche and clientele. Do you find most of your clientele these days would just be returning clientele, or are you still getting a bunch of new clients through the door?
Bit of both.
Yeah.
I'm very, very lucky that I've retained a lot of my clients over time, and they're very committed, which is greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
So a lot of big projects, like just limbs at a time, which is awesome. That's what you want.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I get new clients come in all the time. People that have been following me for years and years, and then they, finally pull the trigger. Just recently I had a guy been saving for like 6 years or something.
Oh, really?
And then just hit me up and he's like, I want my leg done. And usually when people are like, I want a leg sleeve, I'm like, yeah, cool. But do you know like the level of financial commitment and time that it takes to finish a whole leg? But he'd already had one done by Matt Curzon.
Okay.
So he was very obviously well versed in the process. So it just happened so quick. Clients like that are so valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah, just awesome. So I get a bit of that. And then I get like the one-off stuff. Someone will see something that like if I posted a drawing or something, someone will be like, yeah, I really want to do that. And you'll do that and then you might never see them again. Or you might see them 6 years down the track and you do another one-off piece or something like that. So yeah, bit of a mixture of new and then retaining clients, I think is super important.
Just the art, do you think there's that connection that you need to have with the customer to keep them coming back? Like, is just doing an amazing tattoo good enough? Or do you think long-term clientele is built on a relationship?
Relationship, 100%. You're never going to get along with everyone and you're never going to connect fully with everyone. So some clients more awkward than others, but generally speaking, I click with all my clients. I think it's like what you put out there is what you attract and get back anyway. I think, yeah, building that relationship with your client, working with that client, staying in touch, even if you don't see them for a few months, just be like, hey, how's your tattoo looking? How's it healed up? Just little things like that. It's a little time consuming sometimes, but I also feel the client base now has shrunk a little bit than what it was, say, post-COVID or pre-COVID.
Yeah.
But you're getting more quality over quantity.
Yeah.
So it's easier to keep those relationships and look forward to, say, the next project as well. Like I said, when I retain clients, it's like we're doing limbs at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So,
that's good anyway. Like,
yeah.
you can have a handful of clients and be booked out for months just from that.
Yeah. Well, that's what used to book me out a lot back in the day, or like even around that pre-COVID, post-COVID time. It was like you get 4 or 5 dudes come in and they'd be like, oh, I want a leg sleeve. And then one guy's like, I want an arm. And then someone's like, I want a back. And just out of half a dozen of those larger projects, boom, you've almost booked out for like 3-4 months. And because you're getting them in regularly. So,
Yeah.
like I said, those type of clients, so valuable.
Yeah.
They keep your business, running.
Like, how many studios do you think you've worked in over the years?
I tend to do like little 2-year stints.
Yeah.
Apart from when I had my own studio. Obviously, I was locked in with a contract there. So my apprenticeship, my first studio was 2.5 years. And then I felt that I'd outgrown the place. Or my ego thought I'd outgrown the place.
Yeah.
Especially when you first start, you think you're like the bee's knees.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
Yeah.
And
Everyone's overconfident.
Yeah. You're like, oh, I'm the best tattooist ever, when you're really not. So yeah, I was given an opportunity to work somewhere else. So I went to what was Renegade Art Society in Moonee Ponds.
Yep.
I don't know if you ever remember that joint.
Yeah, I
It
remember.
started out as Sullen Art or something like that, and then they changed the name.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I was there for maybe 18 months, nearly 2 years, and I just jumped straight into my own place.
Yep.
Because by that time, I'd had such a solid client base and I was booked for months at a time. And I was like, yeah, I can do this. This is easy. I'll just have my own place. And then when you get your own place, you're like, oh,
It's not that easy.
it's not that easy. Financially, it just drains you.
Yeah, there's so many more bills than people think.
Then you think, yeah, so there's the financial side. Then there's the time. And then there's like, yeah, just staying on top of everything. So yeah, I had that place for 5 years. It was pretty cool. Go in there before me. It was actually my chiropractor used to be in there. So I already knew the building before I went in and had a look at it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I used to go get my adjustments there. And then she ended up moving down around the corner.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a cool little setup. But then after 5 years and 2 years of COVID, I was just like, I kind of want to do something different. And then I was going to travel around a lot and guest a lot just to learn different things from different people. And then went and did a guest spot at Black Mark and never left. And then I was there for a couple of years and then, yeah, decided again I wanted to do something different, travel around a little bit more again, and then landed at Dead Mind as a home base.
Yeah.
Because I've known Tay since I've pretty much started tattooing. So those guys have been very welcoming and yeah, I'm still there. So that was the start of the year. So
yeah,
we'll see how long. We'll see how long I go for, and then
I think a couple of years. A couple of years is about the longevity of any artist at any place before they get bored and need to seek inspiration. Or
yeah, I don't think it's necessarily boredom. I feel like guesting around is really helpful too.
Yeah.
When I had my own place, I wasn't able to do that much based on affordability because I had to keep paying rent. You know, commercial lease, you know, how it is with rent, rates, blah, 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 blah. So I went and did expos, but I didn't travel around and guest at studios that much. Once I'd stepped away from that, then I started to do that more. You know, I've spent quite a bit of time last year in Adelaide at Fallen Muse with the guys there. That was really good. I got my right arm done there and stuff. So learned a lot while I was there in that amount of time. I spent a lot of time with Sam I think I've done 3 guest spots with Sam. Did another guest spot with Bluey in South Sydney, and then a couple in Brisbane as well. So went around the traps a little bit, which was nice. Get out and meet different people, different perspectives, different art styles, different approaches. I think it's good to take on board what people are doing, and then you may or may not apply that into your own work.
Yeah, I think it's very influential to work with other artists.
It's so
Wherever you
important, I
can.
think. Because we get very trapped within our own little ways of doing things and our own routine. And I'm very guilty of that. I'm a very routine-based person. So it's like, sometimes it can take me a while before I try something new. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, why didn't I try this earlier? This is amazing.
Yeah, I think like guest spotting, you pick up little things that you wouldn't even think of, like just how to apply a stencil better. Or a different way to
stencil life, man.
Yeah, a different way to like do a background or like flow. So many little tips and tricks.
Tiny little tips and tricks I've picked up. You know, going around talking to artists at expos is really important too, especially if you like are really into their work and what they do. I've picked up tips and tricks from black and grey realism artists. Obviously, being a neo-trad artist, I would maybe not have learned unless I'd gone and asked some questions. I think people can get a little intimidated and scared to do that, to go and ask questions.
To approach other artists. Yeah.
But it's so valuable. Like expos, guest spots, like ask questions.
Yeah, essentially that's what expos are for, to meet other. I think one of the biggest reasons to do them is just to network, meet other artists, get inspiration.
Yeah, because what opportunity do you really have to do that? Unless you're actively going out, traveling and doing guest spots, which can get costly.
Yes. It's not for everybody if you've got a family.
Yeah. Now I have a family too. So it's something that I probably won't be able to do much in the future.
Yeah.
One of the trips up to Sydney, I took them with me. So that's our option now. It's like family holiday / go do a guest spot somewhere and hang out, or go get tattooed or things like that. So, but yeah, the convention scene is definitely, that's one of the most valuable things out of that. And just meeting other people in person, because we're all online now. So it's like, all your interactions are online through social media.
Well, that's it. I think even things like this these days, people doing podcasts, they'll just like sort of figure out some live stream setup and not even end up in the same room. It's still just like opposite sides of town from your phone rather than.
Well, you can do a podcast from one side of the country to the other, really.
Yeah, well, that's it. There's like less actual physical connection than there used to be. And I guess that comes down to even probably dealing with clients these days. There's less in-person consultation and probably more emphasis around just messaging on social media and sending photos. Yeah.
Because I find like quite a few of my clients are in a state. So I used to have this like years ago, I set this thing up where I was like, I'm not tattooing you unless I meet you.
Yeah.
But then that just became unrealistic.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually do utilize that video consult a lot, especially for interstate clients.
Yeah.
It's just good to jump on, have a half an hour, 40-minute chat with someone. You can see their face. You can see kind of what they look like.
Get a bit of a
vibe about them. See if you like, because that is important. Like we were talking about earlier, building that relationship with your client. I think that is important. And just making sure you're on the same page, because you can say one thing in text, but you don't want a situation where they get to the studio, they've traveled from, say, Brisbane or Sydney, and you guys are clashing over like the direction of the design or where it's going. You know what I mean? Like these things can happen. So I just think that 30-minute, 40-minute conversation via video call is like really important.
Yeah, set you up.
It sets you up for success, basically, with your client, because you've already got that little opening rapport there that then you can build upon when they come in and you meet them in person.
Yeah. So with that, traveling, guest spots for work, obviously, when you've got a family, they're a little bit harder or a little bit less viable.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you manage that? Do you set a certain amount of time sort of that you can have away from your family, or you drag them along?
Yeah. Well, we tested the waters last year. Was it last year or the year before? I don't know, man. I keep getting like lose track of time. So I mentioned that I'd gone up and done a guest spot with Sam up in Avalon in Sydney, northern Sydney, and I decided to bring my partner and the two kids. So we ended up driving up instead of flying, and it actually worked well. We didn't know how we'd go with like I can't remember how old they were at the time, like maybe 9 months, like not even anywhere near one yet. Kira would have been just before she turned 3. But they managed the car trip fine. They were really good around.
So do you balance, I guess, in that case, it's like working holiday, how many days you actually sort of off? Yeah.
Yeah. I think I just we had like one day to ourselves, I think, but that was like the day before we left.
Yeah. So missus and kids just off doing their own thing.
Yeah, they were hanging around because that's why we drove as well. So she had the car. Yeah, it worked. It was reasonably successful.
Yeah.
So now we have a newborn. It's like we'll probably have to wait a while before we do anything like that.
Yeah.
So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Just local guest spots if you're gonna move around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I talked to a couple of guys, maybe tattooing here or there, but where I am now, it's I'm in a really good routine with it. So I kind of just want to stay in that routine for a little bit while Lila's so young, and then cross other bridges when we get to them.
Yeah.
But it's just, and I'm sure you could vouch for this as well. It does get quite tricky managing a family, traveling, and trying to expand and stay relevant in your business.
Mm-hmm. I basically turned away traveling until like recently. With the younger kids, I just put it off.
Yeah. So I might have to do the same thing. I might not be able to travel for work for quite a while. So, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Tattooing for so long, as well, managing family, managing health, like a lot of people get bad backs, RSI. Is any of that an issue for you?
Not really.
No?
No. Definitely the RSI things I'm pretty good with, but I have heard like a few of my friends and stuff have struggled with it, like in the wrist and whatever. Pretty much use rotaries from the start, so I haven't had to hold a heavier machine. I had back issues probably midway through my career, but I was very overweight and quite unhealthy. So I think it just went hand in hand. Just try and stay as active as you can, basically, because you're sitting hunched over all day. My posture's pretty bad, hump in my back, as most of us do. But I guess you just try and balance that out with, stretching, yoga, and then I don't know, whatever your jam is, lifting weights, cardio, whatever you need to do to stay relatively active. Otherwise, it just aggravates, I guess, and gets worse if you're constantly just in one position. Yeah, I know. I've had a few like health professionals go, "Oh, you should get up and walk around while you tattoo, every half an hour," and you're like, I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
You know what it's like? You start a piece and you're just like, I've got to go, you feel like you're under the pump and you just can't get up every half an hour and, do 10 squats and go for a stroll.
A lot of artists feel guilty for getting up.
I feel guilty
even stopping and having lunch or something.
I feel guilty for taking a piss.
Yeah, I know some people will tattoo like 3 hours nonstop without a break. I can't do it. I have to get up like
you got to get up
every hour and have a quick walk around, sit back down. It might be for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then get back into it again.
Yeah. I find at the moment I'm doing a similar thing. In the past, like, I just sat there for hours at a time I've always taken a 20-minute, half an hour lunch break though.
Yeah.
Always.
I never used to stop and have an actual lunch break. I just have a bunch of really small intermittent stretches.
Yep.
And then get back into it, and then just live off chocolate and fucking energy drinks.
Yeah, just die.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was I going to say? I found. Oh, it's funny because you take that lunch break and then you go sit down.
Yeah.
For 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You don't actually walk around.
Yeah.
You sit down and eat your food.
But usually you find a comfy couch and lean you back.
Exactly. It's a different type of sitting. You'll go sit on the couch or something.
But that's it. I think people sit down all day, get used to it.
Well,
and they get home and just want to crash on the couch and sit down again.
Oh man, well that was a big problem when I first started. Because I mentioned earlier, I ended up living behind my studio. So I went from an average weight of maybe 95 kilos and just blew out in 12 months because I didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And my eating habits and my drinking habits were pretty bad.
Yeah.
So there was just no movement. And I think my heaviest, I was 150 kilos or something.
Yeah. I think
wild.
I think that's a trap almost every artist has early on. Well, maybe not just early, but probably for the first 3 or 4 years, is they get stuck into that dedicated tattooing, sitting down, not 100%. Really getting much movement, and then back pain starts kicking in.
Yeah.
And then I think everyone gets forced into some sort of exercise.
Yeah.
Stretching.
Now you have to do something.
Yeah. Start concentrating on posture when you're sitting down.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely forced into a lot of people's daily routines.
That's crucial.
And then skipping meals, and then there's only so long you can do it before.
And you go to tattooing, and you're sitting down tattooing all day. And then when you start, all you want to do is draw and hustle.
Mm-hmm.
So you go sit down again, and then you finish that, and you're like, oh, I'm tired. I'm going to lay on the couch for an hour or two and watch some TV, and then I'm going to walk to the next room and go to bed. So you don't do it.
You're getting in 2,500 steps a day.
Not even. So, yeah, it's definitely something you need to be conscious of once you start, I reckon.
Yeah.
Don't leave it too late. It comes down to the individual person, I guess, and what works best for you. But you got to incorporate something in your daily routine, even if it's a 45-minute walk when you get home. Get home, go for a 45-minute walk. Then you can sit on the couch and watch your TV to zone out, or do whatever you want to do. Daily routine.
Yeah.
Walk to work.
Yeah.
That was another good thing when I had my own studio, as I lived not too far away, where the incidental half an hour walk to the studio.
Yeah.
So unless it was pouring rain, I'd walk to the studio. And some light stretching. You don't have to go into a hot room and do crazy ass yoga.
Just hang off that.
Do you have a bit of a routine?
I don't really tattoo anymore. But I do sit down at a desk all day.
You don't have to worry about being hunched. Oh, well, if you're at the desk,
so it's still pretty much
still got the rounded shoulders from typing on the keyboard.
Yeah, I still get up every hour, go for a walk.
Yeah.
If I'm in the office, I'll run over to the warehouse, check on the guys over there.
Yeah.
Just to get up and moving for a little bit. So I guess it is still pretty similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stairs are good.
Yeah.
Live in a 2-story house, or
Yeah, I'm split level, so I can't go anywhere without going up or down the stairs.
Yeah. We got a 2-story place where I work. There's stairs, so you're always going up and down stairs, which is good.
Scraping your back anyway.
Yeah, I feel I get my best ideas when I go walking too.
Yeah,
it's just no music or you could listen to music or a podcast.
This podcast,
listen to this podcast. But I find sometimes when you don't have headphones in, especially if you live in an area where there's some nature and stuff, and you just go for a walk, and you clear your head, you'll get your best ideas.
Yeah, well, I think it's a very stimulated world we live in. People have always got headphones in doing something. I think that quiet time, the downtime, is needed for your brain to reset.
100%, yeah. Because I hear so many stories of other artists, not just and people in general. They're like, "Oh, I can't switch off at night. Oh, I can't go to sleep." And I think it's just because we're so stimulated all day.
Yeah. Laying in bed, playing on a device, scrolling.
But then you go lay in bed and you look at your phone for God knows how long.
Yeah. Usually
I've been guilty of that. You know, you doom scroll and then
you
it's
doom
like,
scrolling and TV on at the same time.
yeah, I do that. I watch a show, yet I'm on my phone like doom scrolling.
Yeah, not
And then
actually concentrating on anything.
you kind of like in between the two.
Yeah,
And then it's like 45 minutes to an hour later, you're like, oh, and your brain's fried.
yeah,
So yeah, I've tried little things like, yeah, not looking at my phone in the evening, but it's like we're addicted to it. It's like,
yeah.
we just pick it up. Such a habit. Just pick it up, doom scroll, and I've got to catch myself, and I'm like, put down. So I'll just put it on flight mode and go to sleep.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years of tattooing? Like, what?
Good question.
Like, do you have a plan, or are you just writing it out, or?
I got to the 10-year point, and I was like, all right, start again.
Yeah,
So I went back to the stuff I was designing at the start,
yeah.
and redesigned it.
Okay, that's cool.
And I was like, how would I do it now? And then I was like, I wanted that mindset of, because I've seen so many artists, they get to that 10-year point and they just like don't give a fuck. They just give up. They're like, oh, whatever, man. But I was like, I don't want to be like that. So I was like, start again. So I went back, revisited my old stuff, and then compared it, and then have that mindset of starting again, but with 10 years of experience and knowledge. But you never stop learning.
Yeah.
So the next 10 years, you'll keep learning, you keep trying new things. So in terms of like next 5 years, I actually haven't thought that far ahead.
No.
Yeah, it's like my life's completely changed now. So it's all about family. Like,
Yeah, just adapting as it comes along.
yeah, well, it's a different situation now.
Yeah.
And something, girls, yeah, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of happy. Yeah, like I said before, I'm happy where I am. So I just keep focusing on trying to do the best tattoo I can do at the moment, and keep trying to push and evolve that to get it looking the best I can. And then the rest of it will sort of fall into place, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't really have any clear goals.
No.
Like career wise.
Yeah.
Just try and be better.
Yep.
Just keep getting better. Never just keep trying to improve.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah. Just keep learning, keep trying to improve. So I'm probably focusing more on design work now, because I have such that illustrated style. It's like I'm putting way more time and effort into designs than probably what I did.
Do you find, I found the further I got into my career, the more I cared about my tattoos on the customers. Like, I think I took more personal responsibility for what they're walking around and wearing.
Yeah, well, we should take personal responsibility from day one.
Yeah.
But you don't. It goes through ebbs and flows.
Well, you're that young and cocky.
That
like,
young, cocky attitude.
You don't care if you fuck something up and someone walks out.
I never had that attitude. Like, if I messed something up, I'd get like, it would affect me.
Yeah.
Like, I would get in my head about it. I'd think, shit. But then at the same time, I thought I was the bee's knees.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a weird situation when you first start. You're like, I've always been quite overcritical of my own work. So, and that will probably never stop.
Yeah.
I'll probably always be highly critical, just so I can keep improving more than anything.
So have you got any projects or guest spots coming forward lined up, and where can people find you and check out your work and see what you're up to?
Project wise, just the stuff I'm working on currently is like pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So, like I've been mentioning before, like I'm getting whole limbs on people, and I'm really concentrating on like creating a little bit of a story within that limb. Everything's quite thematical. Like a lot of my stuff tends to lean towards the mythology side of things now, unless I'm doing, say, an animal related piece or something like that. I think I start a underwater sleeve next week, which will be something a little different. I've dibbled and dabbled in it, but I haven't really done a full sleeve of underwater stuff. I've always got some sort of mythology sleeve on the go. If it's Viking, Greek, I think I'll have a crack at an Egyptian one next year. That sort of stuff like really excites me project wise. I'd love to start doing more hand drawing stuff, but then it comes down to time,
Yeah.
and balancing things, and especially with the family.
Where can we find you? What's the best way to contact you if you are interested in getting a tattoo?
Yep.
Or just having a chat? Like, do you take DMs, emails?
Yeah, so I find just DMing on Instagram, for me personally, I know a lot of artists are against it. It's so much easier. It's just so quick and easy to shoot through DM. Like just that initial engagement through a DM is just so much quicker and easier than like email. But it's so much easier. Like all my pre-tattoo information I have screenshotted. So if someone's making an inquiry, all my booking information is literally on a screenshot that I can just send through a DM.
Yep.
And then they can enlarge that, read it, or
Sweet.
slide into the DMs.
All right. On that note, thanks for coming down. Thanks for having a chat.
Oh, thanks for having me, Chris.
We've got all Mason's links in the description here. So click on it, check him out, check out his work. And thanks again for coming down.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thanks.